Welcome to the Sunnyside of Freedom. Today we have one of our very own, very special person, part of the Sunnyside family, our Wyoming gal, as we're going to refer to her today, a female veteran who'd like to share her story with all of you. It's not every day that Sunny has a female veteran on her podcast, so I'm very honored and I thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So I know for some time now, we've known each other on the TikTok platform. You've joined Sunny's Veterans Night now for about 2.5 years. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
This group has helped me so much through my process. And yes, I'm a little wall child down in the below comments. Every now and then I do pop up top, but it's not very rare, it is very rare. This group, whether you guys know it or not, has helped me get to where I'm at today. Wanting to tell my story. And it is my story. It's, I know nobody in this group is going to judge me. They won't think of me bad, but it is my story. And I'm ready to tell it.
Good. And I'm happy that you're here and you're ready to tell it and share it. Because I know for some time we've talked and you've wanted to. And I was like, wow, you reached out to me and said, okay, I'm ready. I said, okay, let's do this. What was it for you that made you feel like I'm ready?
The last coffee talk that we had. I came in that morning after night shift, and everything that was said in that coffee talk, it resonated. I'm like, I've done this. I got that. I'm there. I'm ready. It's like I'm so ready to open up and talk. And I've been afraid for so long.
Yeah. It's hard. It's most definitely
very hard.
And for our viewers, the coffee talk that she's making reference to airs on the TikTok platform every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I want to backtrack us a little bit. Our viewers know how we've met, how you've become a part of this community, love and support. But I want to take this back to your years of service.
I went in the service right after my 16th birthday. I just turned 17 in 87. Went off to basic training. Came back, graduated high school, and right after graduation, the next morning, I flew out to AIT. It's right after that, boom, I was overseas. And I'm only, get this, 17, 18 years old. Barely. My difficult times when I just got out, I was probably 21, maybe 22 years old. So my life has developed military base. I never really grew up, didn't know. I missed cultures for like 6 years. So coming back stateside, it was like, what happened? What movie was that? Oh, that song? I haven't heard it. So it was kind of a mix of everything.
And we often talk about how difficult it is for those that have served and come back into society, this crazy world we live in, chaotic.
Yeah.
Integration process and how difficult that is and the challenge associated. And not talk, I mean, I think today we're talking about it more than ever. We're finally breaking those stigmas and breaking the silence and having conversations with our veterans like this, getting their stories out so more can understand that I call them exit interviews aren't enough when leaving the military. There's much more that needs to take place to ensure that mental health stability that we talk about. Because it's like throwing someone into the open sea and saying, okay, figure it out. Go figure it out. I've never fished before. Go figure it out. Essentially, that's what it's like for you all. Like you said, you come back as somebody completely different.
Yes, definitely.
I don't
And
know if it's your audio. I apologize for our viewers. Do you hear a noise in your audio system? It's making like a noise, and I'm not sure what it is. Uh,
I don't hear anything.
okay. I'll continue, but I apologize if it's making any disruptive noises for all of you who are listening. It's very difficult to come back in. Now, you and I talked about that a little bit, and you also shared that through your own personal challenges, your mental health was compromised and you leaned into.
I think I discovered it started back when I was 18 years old. I lost my battle buddy. He went to basic with me. He went to AIT with me. We
Mhm.
were stationed together over in Germany. And um, I was a 76 Victor, and that's basically like a warehouse computer person back in the day.
Okay.
I think they've split it now. And I was also cross trained. That was the air that we were allowed to cross train to different MOSs as an 88 Mike, which is a heavy equipment or truck driver. um, he stepped behind a truck, a deuce, and was smashed between the deuce and the wall. 18 years old, I had to talk to him because I knew as soon as they left that truck or moved that truck, he was gone. I grew up with him and his wife. So that was a very traumatic, start to my duty station. After that, it was kind of like, I think Chief would laugh on this one, but my drill sergeant in basic training followed me throughout my whole life and every duty station. He was my first shirt in everywhere I went. And he had me really wanting to re-up and become a drill sergeant. So when I came back stateside, that was my plan. I was going to re-up for another 4 years and become a drill sergeant at 22 years of age. Yeah. But then Hurricane Andrews hit. That put a kibosh on a lot. Now, I know I lost my battle buddy. I know how that feels. I was not prepared for what I saw, what I did, or anything in that hurricane. That has haunted me every time, and try not to cry. Every time that I see like a natural disaster, it hits harder and harder. And all I can do is pray for the people that are out there doing that now, for the strength. And I know what they're going through.
Well,
So,
first, I'm going to say I'm sorry for your loss, for your bad.
thanks.
And I can't imagine walking into an area that's so devastated by
Yeah,
loss.
it's the sights, the smells that get you. And those are the triggers.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you're never alone. We do talk about this quite a bit. As things happen in our world, you do have a community to reach out to if you just want to talk about it. Um, it doesn't take it away, but it helps a little bit sometimes to just have a listening ear.
it does.
Um, so when you finished your service, you had shared with me that it was about like 6.5 years or so.
Yes. I got out. I decided not to re-enlist, not go for the drill sergeant. I basically mentally could not handle it no more. I decided to get out. Um, I didn't really know we were supposed to go to the VA. I didn't know we had benefits. I didn't know about all this help. And it was not like a pamphlet going, here, have a nice life. Here's your civilian life. You get home and all you hear is, it's over. It's in your past. Don't worry about it. Push it down. Get over it. And I didn't open up to my family about it. You can't talk to your friends because they don't know what you went through. They don't understand that I got your six. It's, oh, I got you. Stab you in the back later. It made me kind of start believing a phrase. And if that's okay, I'd like to read that to you. And
Absolutely.
I think you guys will understand this phrase and why I got this fly flying around here. Um, um, why it's so hard for me to open up once you hear it. But it goes like, if I never ask for help, you can never let me down. If I don't open up to you, then there's no way you can reject me or make me feel unworthy. So often I'm finding that no matter how much effort I put in, I'm still being let down. So it made me develop this hyper independence mode. And I've been living that for a long time. That's one of those things. I reached down in that quicksand and I found that one. And I'm like, I don't want to live that way no more. I need to say, no, that's my boundary. I want to fill my cup. I have to fill my cup.
And you and I talked about that a little bit. We talked about, it's okay to not be okay. There's no shame or weakness in that. And it's so hard for some of us to ask for help.
It's
Harder
very
than most
hard.
realize.
I think that's the hardest step to learn. And it is a step. It is a step-by-step process.
Yeah.
But once you get to that, it's okay not to be okay, you're almost there.
Yeah.
You can reach that top step, you can see that tunnel, you can see that light, and just a little bit more, you've got this. And you keep
Because
pushing it.
you've changed courses and you're on a different path, and it's the healing journey, as I
It is
call it.
very healing.
And you and I talked about that a little bit prior to this interview, and some of the things that we are faced with during the healing journey are identifying specific things such as triggers, things that
Yes.
will set us off and possibly even make us take a few steps back, and maybe old habits, whatever it may be. And I don't know if you want to share anything in reference to that.
Some of my, I don't know if you want to call them cover-ups, so I can get rid of what's in my mind, what I'm thinking. I drank a lot, and it helps suppress it. I became a workaholic. That's suppression. I've been 4 months sober. I cannot touch the bottle right now. I can't even be near a bottle. I was so bad that I could go through 6 bottles in one night. I think they call that functioning alcoholic. I don't do that no more.
I'm proud of you.
I am so proud of myself for not doing that. And I went just cold turkey. I just said, nope,
Was there
not
a
doing it.
specific event that took place in your life that was the day, that was the breaking moment, or was there something specific that happened?
It was my last day of turkey season. And something, I don't know what identified it, but something triggered me. I started drinking. Mind you, I just got off of a 12-hour rotating shift. So I've been up for 12 hours. I hit the bottle. I I can't tell honestly how many I drank that day. I do vaguely remember driving to my hunting spot. That was not my intention to hunt. So I think the turkey saved my life that day because he did run in front of me. I got him. 4 points.
And
And saved by a turkey. But I sobered up and I realized I can't do that. It's not my time. So a couple days later I was scrolling and found a live view, and that's when I jumped in, and things have been snowballing since then in a good way.
You're living life on the sunny side now.
Oh, yes, I am. And the PPC.
And the PPC, for those that don't know, we're not going to tell. You got to join us on TikTok if you want to know what we're talking about. Um, you know, I love hearing that you found that path, whether it was the turkey that crossed the, why does a turkey cross the road? Well, we'll tell you.
I think it
But
was heaven sent. I mean,
yeah,
that's all I can explain it. It was heaven sent. There was a message. It was a sign.
one of the things I've noticed in you, and I don't do this in a way to be critical or pass judgment in any way, but I do pick up on things changing in individuals, right? I noticed you were more consistent. You're showing up more for yourself. You're coming into the lives. You're interactive. You're sharing some of the amazing things that you're doing at home, like whether it's pictures of remodeling. And I'm like, look at you go, girl. So I'm so, yeah. So that tells me something. That tells me that you're putting the work in. You've heard us say it, you're investing in yourself. You're like determined to get your life on the not, the right track, your track, the
I was
Wyoming.
on the right track. I fell off. And just like a train, that moment when that happened, it put me back on that track. And it gave me enough to push me forward.
Yeah.
You gave me the right to keep going. You and this group has really, really made just kept behind me, pushing me. I've met so many people, and I have an individual I met in this group that he keeps calling me. If he hasn't heard from me, he calls me or he texts me and he's like, "Are you doing okay? Do you need to talk?"
Yeah.
So it's good to know that I've got that support.
Yeah. Wyoming gal, we often say, and we've talked about this. This is as honest as one can be. You made reference to I got your six when you're in service, and even though we're on a social media platform, whether it be on TikTok or the YouTube channel, wherever we find ourselves, and we say we're here to support you, we physically can't always offer that physical support, nor can we take on the ownership of someone else's life or fixing specific things in their life. But we do as best of a job as we can of creating a community where you're seen, you're heard, and we see you. And you're welcome to always come in and say, I'm having a really bad day. And we know what we got to do to help lift those spirits or reach out to you in your DMs. Why you see Sunny always make reference to you're truly never alone unless you don't reach out. We're only as alone as we want to be, right? That self isolation that we talk about.
Yeah.
And I say this to say, but I see you reaching out, even if it's not saying, hey, Sil, I need help. You're reaching out as to say, look, I'm doing this, and this is what's going on in my life. You're opening up, you're sharing things in your life. And I actually wanted to take us to something else that you're doing, which is so amazing. And we talked a little bit about it, which is part of your healing journey and how you're helping others has helped you fill your cup.
That is our motto at my new workplace. I know that my 12-hour roading shifts and all that heavy work, that was part of my suppression. So I had to get out of what I was doing. I decided to go for being a social worker and getting certified at a local homeless shelter. And it's helping not only civilians, but veterans try to get there and help them apply for either a job or get their housing or their SSI, their SSDI, their VA benefits, that they are out there. And whether they know it or not, helping yourself is helping others. That is the motto.
Mm-hmm.
And they're helping me fill my cup back up because it was been empty for so long. And they are helping me whether they know it or not. And it's just reciprocated back. And it's helped in my healing journey.
Yeah. I think you may have already caught a few episodes, whether it be Coffee Talk or Sunny's Veterans Live, where I've actually made reference to, you guys have no idea how much you've helped me on
Yeah.
my healing journey. My sense of purpose is restored. Like, I feel like I am not just my job. I am not just the mom, although it's one of the most important jobs I've ever held in my life,
We're
nurturing.
expected as women to wear multiple hats.
Oh, most certainly.
I went in, I was like the 3 females that graduated from our basic training, and there was over 100 guys.
Mhm.
So I had to be tough. I had to show them and prove to them that I could do this too. Being 17, I was the youngest puppy. I was, as they nicknamed me, Pollywog, because I was a puppy in the poly
Now,
tadpole.
it's going to be stuck with you now, Pollywog.
Oh, that's fine. I know the squids will love it. They're laughing, but I get it. Um, but yeah, that became my nickname throughout my whole service because I kept swimming.
Have you heard me
So,
say that? Just keep swimming.
a little bit here and there, and I kind of giggle.
Yeah.
So it's some of the phrases. I was trained with an airborne unit. So if you hear me yell 6 minutes, yep, that's where that comes from.
Awesome.
So
How was
it's
it? How was it being a part of, the military and only having 3 women a part of
it's
your unit?
hard. It's hard because I mean they would come out and they dog you. One, I was the youngest and I was a female. But by the end of the day, I still beat their food sets on the run. I even on my time off, if I was showing weakness in one area on my time off, that's what I concentrated on because I did not want to let my guys down. If I couldn't carry something, I went out on my time off. I put extra in my backpack and still rocked it. So it was hard. You dealt with a lot of mental pressure.
Mhm.
You could not cry. You do not cry. You don't go to the medics or the doctor. Um, we call it the medics.
Yeah.
You were shamed if you did, and we didn't go there. I mean, if we did, I broke my leg, so of course I had to go. And my sarge looks at me and goes, "Yep, Hollywood, you got to go." And I'm like, "You think? I can't walk." So yeah, that it was challenging after that because I had to work even extra hard to come back. And yes, I did that even before the movie came out. That GI Jane. They only give you 2 barrettes to put your hair up. I actually went down, found a guy's shaver, and I just trimmed it. I'm like, nope, I'm gonna fit right in. I got my little birth control glasses on. I got my shaved head on, and I didn't care. I'm not there to, impress anybody. I was there to prove them I could do this, and I think I did. Um, it was funny because after the 3rd duty station, and again, my drill sergeant came in.
I was muted and I said something, so I'm like, sorry.
Oh, yeah, my drill sergeant followed me throughout my whole career. So when he did pass away, his wife did actually contact me about 5 years ago. Called me. I don't know how she found me, but she called me up and said, "Hey, Lassard passed away, and you were really close with him." So it was right there. I think I knew I needed to change again.
I was going to ask you, what inspired you to join the military?
My grandfather. He was a World War II Normandy Beach survivor. And at 14 years old, if you can imagine, my grandmother didn't want to go to the events, so I flew over to Europe on the Normandy beach when they had their debut with my grandfather. And here's this 14-year-old walking around with all these old men meeting everybody. I've gone to every one of his reunions. And again, if you can imagine a 14-year-old in a bikini walking around with all these old ladies and old men, I was having fun. I was having time in my life. Hearing their stories gave me something to look forward to and get out of my little small town. So that's when I told him, I said, I'm going to join the Army. He goes, you better start with National Guard first. I did. I didn't make it. I mean, I made it all the way through basic, came back and said, sign me up. I'm going full time. None of this part time stuff. And he really pushed through. I was overseas when he passed, but I made it. The Red Cross got me back, and I made it before he, went all the way. But my mom was having hard with times because of that. But it was, I know he's proud of me for what I've done, what I've experienced, where I'm at today. I can hear him upstairs going, you did it. You did it, Pollywog.
I love that. And I'm sure he is. He's like, you did it. I heard you say you wanted to prove to them that you could do it. Did you ever say to yourself, I wanted to prove to myself that I could do it?
I think I did once I started going to AIT, because airborne, when you go airborne, you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for other people. You're following the mission of the military, but you're doing it for you. And of course, you have a death wish. Everybody does when they go in the military. It's like, I don't even expect to live till I'm 20, Back then I'm only 17. So you pick up the phrases, you pick up the buddyism, and I ended up doing a lot for myself in the military. I was so proud. And when I got out, it changed. It changed.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed to be in the military. A lot of people know about all the benefits nowadays. I didn't have that. When I got out at that era, I didn't have that knowledge. Nobody gives you a pamphlet. They're just like, see ya, have fun. So I've struggled since then of getting help through the VA. So
I'm sorry.
it's okay.
We talked a little bit about that earlier. Don't give up that fight. You're worth
I'm
it.
gonna keep fighting.
Keep fighting. Until the right door opens, and keep banging on all of them until it does, because you deserve that. And I know that it gets exhausting. I often hear from our veterans say how they're just tired of fighting with the VA. And that wears and obviously tears at your mental health because you're just exhausted. And it should
I've been fighting since 92. And if you do the math, that's over 20 some years. I did find out last year, I did work at through a VSO last year. I thought he would actually help me. The only thing he helped me and discovered was I was marked as presumed dead, whereabouts unknown. I don't know how. I don't know why. But we just figured that out last year. My records were gone. I mean, that's how they were marked, and they were stamped on there. He did get that removed, but now I've got to, with the paperwork I do have, I have to start the process all over again. But my new job is helping me discover that path that maybe I could do it by myself and actually get some well-needed help from that.
Awesome. Awesome. See how everything just kind of happens for a reason, even when we don't understand it.
Yes.
You Life is both beautiful and frustrating, but definitely amazing and interesting. It's always something to take away from everything that's happening.
And you
Um,
know you're on the right path when things start falling in place and just out of nowhere, it just, here it is. You need this. Here it is. Here's another one. It's a good feeling.
so I appreciate you being here today. So for our viewers who would like to get to know you a little bit or know what you do for fun.
Well, I raise quail. Those are like miniature chickens.
Oh,
I do a lot of gardening. I used to hunt, but with my um, disabilities that I have, I cannot do that anymore. I can hike a little bit. I'm working on it. I'm building the strength back up to do that. Um, I just kind of enjoy life right now. It's it's like, okay, I want to go for a road trip today. Okay, let's go.
love
Or
that.
I'll call someone up and say, "You want to go fishing today? Let's go." um, I do work like we all do. Well, yeah. My shift schedule starts at midnight, gets off at 8 in the morning. So I stay up until noon the next day, do my things I need to do. Man, be going fishing, going hiking, going exercising, walking. I mainly help out with my birds. And then I finally get some sleep in the evening and do it all over again. But I know, I've traveled enough. I've seen the world. So
Yeah.
I'm content to stay in Wyoming and find the new hidden spots.
Um, I love that you know to do those things for yourself. That's so important. I talk about find things that bring you joy. Whether for me it's kayaking, going to the ocean, although I have so many though. It depends on the mood. But you also have, and we don't have to list or say a company name, but you have a very hard job, right?
It can be mentally hard job. It can be stressful. It can be mental because you are taking on some of their pain when you work with them. But you need to learn how to let go. And that taught me I need to do the same thing with mine. So it's not easy. Some days are better. It's a roller coaster, as you said. Some days are good, some days are bad. But if you replace for every negative, have 5 positives. That that helps so much. So if you have a bad day, have 5 more good ones. If you have a 2 on your scale level, let's make 3 more that are positive or 4 more that are positive. Hell, let's go for 5. So I've learned a lot through them. And it
That's
helps.
awesome. It puts life into perspective. It puts events into perspective. Things are always happening around us, to those we love. There's always something going on. Some days are just really great, and you're like, oh, I kind of really like this day. Nothing crazy went on. It was a good day. Then there's other days where I call it was just a complete shitstorm.
Yeah.
I'm like, and then you do what you shouldn't do, which is what else you got for me today? But and then of course, the overused, it doesn't kill me, makes me stronger. And yet there's so much truth there, right? It's like I'm still here and I'm still here for a reason and I'm going to fight my way through it. I didn't come this far. And that's me getting spicy with myself. I didn't come this far to give up now or to quit now. And yes, I wanted to take us to a place that you and I talked a little bit about, which are triggers. But then here come these triggers. And these triggers can be so powerful and lead our train of thought into a different mindset where it can take over the entire day if we give it permission to do. And you and I talked a little bit about that and some of the things that the steps you've taken to try to learn from those triggers and not just cope through, but overcome them. Did you want to share?
I have, when I have an episode, or I don't know what people call it, if I lose it, if you will, I write that down. I kind of step back. I don't isolate as much now. I just pull myself back, reserve back, and I have to process it on my own. What caused this? When did it start? How long did it go? And write down in my mind, okay, these are the questions. Where's the answers? Once I get the answers, then I know, okay, do I want to test it again or just wait until it happens again? And then I know that I could get through that trigger. And once I identify a trigger, like 4th of July was really hard for me. I don't know if it was just the fireworks. I love 4th of July, but it just really, really triggered me this year. And every time a firework went off, it was like a flood of bad memories just overwhelmed me. I knew it was going to be hard. I told my supervisor that night before, I said, I'm going to do my best to make it through the night. I don't know if I can, but I'm going to push it. And she said, call me if you need to. I'll come in and replace you. There's a couple vets there and they identified it. They're like, this is what you got. And they kind of helped me walk through it. So I wrote that down when I got home going, okay, this is the trigger. Now I see the trigger. Now I know what to do if it happens again. I don't do big crowds. I don't know why. I'm thinking I'm afraid something's going to happen and I'm going to be frozen and I'm going to have to just act like a robot and pick up everything again. I don't want to be there. So that's one thing that I'm going to be working on next week is in bigger crowds and trying to work through that trigger. What's triggering it? Why am I having this feeling? What's not being resolved? So triggers are a good thing, but once you identify them, you'll know next time, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to handle it this way instead.
If you start listening to your body will actually start to, they're like little alarms, internal alarms. You can start to feel anxiety sometimes, and not for all triggers, for certain things, or maybe it was something that's been leading up to that trigger. And then it just amplifies everything. But I think it's amazing that if you can recognize what it is and take the steps to try to avoid to the best of your ability, and if you can't avoid it, knowing what to do while you're
I'm sorry to interrupt, but my mind thinking is I don't want to avoid it. I want to work through it. So I want to enjoy fireworks. I want to go in big crowds again.
Mhm.
So my thinking is instead of avoiding the situation, let's work on handling it so I can go in and face it strong and even come out stronger at the other side. Going, I
Yeah.
did that. I know how it is. And that's for me. That's not for anybody else, but that's for me.
That's awesome. I love what you've been doing. How long would you say you've been in this frame of mind now? Is it just the 4 months since you stopped drinking? When did you notice that your everything had shifted a little bit?
It's easier to put this way. I've lost purpose since I left the military. And I've realized in the last 3 weeks that I really haven't had a purpose. I felt lost. I was just, yeah, let's go do this. Yeah, let's go do this. Following the crowd. I
Mhm.
wasn't me. And in the last 3 weeks since I started this job, I found my purpose. And it's like light bulbs and fireworks have gone off here, going, I got this. I'm back on a mission.
Yeah. And
So
a lot of us, I have to say, like, I thrive when I feel like I'm doing something other than just the everyday. Like, I have to get up, I have to go to work, I have to do the dishes, all of it. I need something more. And, when I started my own personal mission of uniting veterans across the nation, it ignited something in me. And it started with our veteran lives, hosting the veteran lives. I found a purpose. Like, I am so much more than just this or that. There's more. And I can never truly explain the feeling that it gives me to be able to help somebody else, because it's doing so much good for me. It fills my heart up. And the meetups, let's not even talk about it. I'm like
I
a light
call
bulb.
it my warm fuzzy feeling.
Yeah. I'm like
And
a
you
light
get that
bulb.
warm fuzzy feeling and it just starts like internally and then it just grows and it's
Yeah.
like pretty soon you're shooting like lightning bolts out and you're like going, oh, I love it. Let's do it again.
And when you're doing it, the other thing too, as I refer to my meetups because it's like a really exciting thing for Sunny. I don't believe I'm there until I'm there. And then I have the aha moment for myself. Like, I did this. We
Yeah,
did this. Like, it's so awesome. And then I can't wait to do it again.
yeah.
And I love that you found that for you and what you're doing now and helping and seeing what helping others is doing for you and giving you that mission focus. Like, you are on a mission,
I am on a mission.
you're on a mission,
I,
girl.
I I've had in fact the person on shift right now, she called, well, she texted me right before this and she's like, they all want you to come back tonight. I'm like, nope, nope. I got 2 days. They're gonna have to wait. But
Boundaries.
I can feel that warm fuzzy going, I gotta be doing something right because they're wanting me
Yeah.
back. They're wanting to talk. So, but it's helping yourself to help others.
Hmm.
And they've
Right.
got to learn to their path. They've got to learn their steps. And if you want to know where I'm at, I'm over a 10. But if you have to have the want and the need to get there too.
It's a commitment to choose. Like I say, I can't tell you what steps to take in your life. You have to choose to want to take them.
Yeah.
Like, you can walk beside people. We talked a little bit about we can't solve their problems, but we can provide the resources. And then hopefully they take the necessary steps. And sometimes even resources are just so hard, and it could be something so easy for someone else.
And
Um,
sometimes you can't help everybody. You've
yeah,
got to know this.
I've
I
learned
mean,
that.
it does hurt.
Yes.
It hurts bad. Trust me, it hurts bad. But if they're not willing to help themselves, you're just they're taking you, they're vampiring your energy and
Yeah.
they're emptying your cup without even you knowing it. So you've got to refill it.
Absolutely. Every opportunity you get, and for our viewers, do you hear us? Fill your cup every single day. Um, I don't know that they always do it intentionally. Yes, we do have people that will manipulate, emotionally manipulate, take advantage because it's easier to have somebody else do it for you if you don't have to do it yourself. But it does hurt for those of us that have a heart to help, and then we want to help, and they don't want to take it. It hurts. It's like, but I have also come to terms with the fact that I can only do what I can do, and it's not my journey. I'm only responsible for my journey, and then it's what I do with my journey that hopefully leaves an impact and helps others. As I often say, lead in love and lead the way, and you hope that they grab on and want to know more and take action for themselves. But you're right, we can't help everyone, and sometimes we don't.
And I think you'll have a better understanding when you hear me say, with pain comes strength.
Mhm.
For every pain you have and you get over that, your strength builds. And That's been my saying. And it's helped me through a lot of dark days and a lot of dark nights. But I know I have to feel that pain. But once it's through, I've got so much strength. My cup is getting overflowing and I'm ready to
Yeah.
help others again.
We're stronger than we give ourselves credit for. We're stronger than we realize. And I often say too, even in my planking videos, you've already survived your hardest days. You got this.
Yeah.
Let's go. And always reach out for help. For anyone watching today who is struggling, please reach out to someone.
It's
988.
the hardest step. It is the hardest step.
It is the hardest step. And don't give up because you're worth it. Find your people, find your tribe, as we make reference to it here on the Sunnyside. Find the right people who will listen and not be afraid to tell you the truth. And that comes with a lot of love for another person when you can look at someone and give them the truth. But Wyoming gal, it's not an easy journey, but it's also a beautiful one. Look at all the amazing connections that we've made over the last 2.5 years. Me knowing you here on the sunny side of freedom, it's been pretty incredible. Although this roller coaster of life is crazy, it's also pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing. There's nothing like human connection. And I often hear our veterans say, I'm better off by myself. When you're alone, you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to deal with people and the interaction and the complications that come with interaction. But I'm here to tell you that I do not believe that human beings are supposed to be isolated on their own walking this journey. I think we're supposed to be walking together.
I can see in minimal amounts, but to process.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Make sure you process and make sure you're understanding. And then go out, but don't isolate yourself. When you get to that point where, no offense, Bubble Life,
Big brother Rob.
he has friends. I know he does.
He does. I'm one of them. I'm one of them.
Yeah, but I've seen individuals that they pull back so far. They just let everything go. Don't isolate that much. That should be your trigger that you're asking for help.
Yeah.
So reach out if you see somebody doing that. Maybe
Absolutely.
that takes that one reach to go, I got you.
And I'm just going to apologize again for the audio today. I'm not really sure. There are severe thunderstorms here in New England, and I'm not really sure what's going on with my audio. I hear it. It's driving me crazy. And I do appreciate every single one of you tuning in today to listen to Wyoming Gal's story. These are just little pieces of her story. We could sit here for hours and really dive in. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful that you decided to come on. I applaud you for your courage to do so.
Thank you.
Because every story matters, as I often say, right? Every story matters. And just like things I've said have resonated for you, maybe your story will be resonating for someone else. We're going to be concluding today's episode, and I wanted to quickly give it over to you. Concluding thoughts, any specific message you'd like to get out to any other veteran listening, or anyone for that matter?
I've been afraid to tell my story. I have not told all of it, but maybe that's later on once I get it processed. But it's my story. I'm not going to push things down anymore. I'm not going to use my quicksand as an excuse to say, oh, I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to work through them. And it's okay not to be okay. It is okay.
It most certainly is. It most certainly is. Well, I thank you once again for being here. You're an amazing human being. And you're a rock star. Keep sending me those pictures because I'm like, wow.
I will.
I love being a part of your journey. And when I randomly will get a picture of something you're doing, I'm like, that's pretty amazing. I see where you are. And I'm glad that you chose me, you chose us to share it with. So thank you all. And thank you.
you're part of my heart. You're part of my family. This whole group is. So keep the smile going.
Absolutely, absolutely. As Sunny always says, lead in love and lead the way. Be the difference you want to see in the world. Stay sunny, stay spicy, and always make it count. We do not get any dress rehearsals in this crazy, crazy life, but we sure the heck have the opportunity to make it count each and every day. I love you to pieces. You're amazing. I love your face. We will continue to see you on Coffee Talk Saturday mornings and joining us on our Veterans Live. Thank you for making the time to be here today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for any other veteran that's out there today, this is what I do. I try to get out your stories, whatever story you'd like to share. It's not mine to tell, it's yours. But it does make a difference, and it makes a difference in the lives of other veterans. So reach out to me. You're never alone. You're only as alone as you choose to be. Please reach out. Ask for help. And you'll be so surprised to see an amazing and supportive community, whether it be here on the sunny side of freedom. There are so many amazing creators on the TikTok platform. One joining us today and watching is Vitamin G for some music therapy. You're never alone. Surround yourself with good people who have a genuine interest in getting to know you and hearing your story and care about you. Much love to all of you. Stay blessed and have an amazing